Social media. Growth, transformation, and truth. Right now, there's a disease called genetically modified organisms. And this disease is being traded, it is being marketed, it is being sold to you every day as candy, as food, as cleaning material. It's all one thing, because you got to realize all these products that can be used for multiple things are being used for multiple things. If it's possible, they're using it. So right now, everything that is natural, that is supposed to be ours and that we're supposed to be a part of, everything that we thought we knew growing up, everything that we were taught in school, we all know that is a lie now. But somehow we all still connect to this world right here and think that we can go get a job. And every day we find out new information, but we still go along the system trying to fix it in a different way. When really we had to kill the system, and not only kill the American system, but by killing the American system, killing off all the other mental mind states that there is a such thing as a country or land that you can own. Not only in a way where it's physically, but in a spiritual way also, and with religion. Now, you cannot claim a religion. All of that was nonsense, and it was simply a distraction. But it was, the way that it was thrown to you was a distraction. Let's put that straight. But the original mind state of it was something that was back in time, and at that point in time, that's what they created in order to help them cope with their reality. Now that you're so lost, you're looking back at them like, okay, how do I be a human? You're acting like you don't know how to fucking be a human anymore. But at the same time, you're still going along with what they're doing. Now, this is where I brought up genetically modified organisms at the beginning of this, because genetically modified organisms is a disease. It's not a type of food. And the reason they call it an organism or object, that's a very vague name for something that's been sold and been argumented and had to be lobbied into this imaginary country and this imaginary oligarchy, okay? Now, as this oligarchy right now is transforming, you are also going along with everything they want you to go along with. Because right now you have a grand opportunity to go out in the universe and make everything happen. And you don't even realize it, because they're distracting you with all of their pleasures, false pleasures. False pleasures you only need and that you can only have if you are connected to them. If you are not connected to them, you cannot have these false pleasures. Now, this is why the genetically modified organism is important, because it is literally a satellite, a cellular, microscopic satellite inside of your body that is electromagnetically drawn to the bullshit. Okay, a more scientific term for it would be electromagnetically attracted to all of the negative things that you can get from your nature, because these negative things have been taught to you in your normal mind state are all traditions, okay? Meaning that they're not really bad. They can have good things and bad things to them, but it's all based on your culture. But anyway, going back to this is important, because every time they offer you something that they tell you not to have, or that you can't have an obsession, they offer you that, right? And then you're supposed to be able to deny that, because your culture teaches you something and you come from a certain background. You're supposed to believe in something, stand your ground, you know? But most of the time we do this in every day. You know how back in the day when you were a child, you used to get in trouble for doing the smallest things, and over time, as you matured, your parents gave you more rights to do negative things somehow. Okay? Connect that with how they were brought up. They were brought up the same way. Now, does this make sense though? Why, when I get older, you offer me more negative things? Is it to test me as a being? In this culture, why do we do that? It's all because right now, the genetically modified organisms are literally in our bodies, and they are invading our cells and mutating our cells and copying them as we speak. And every time you think something inside of the matrix, it's literally creating a cell in your body that responds to that shit. Everything is creating a cell in your body, that a fake mutated GMO cell. The same way you got a GMO brain too. If you continue to live this lifestyle, you grow tumors. What they call you a tumor is. What they tell you a tumor is, that's basically human transformation. That's something they hide from you. They give you scientific words in order to hide the actual significance of this. All these things, all the actual diseases that you think are diseases are actually side effects of the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, now get that straight. Everything that you think is bad, cancer, AIDS, all hepatitis, chickenpox, all this is actually a side effect of the lifestyle of the Europeans. And also on top of that, when they get that lifestyle, who do they go to? They need somebody to help them fix that lifestyle. So they, over time, matured a pharmaceutical industry because everybody was living in such a disgusting lifestyle here. When there was poverty, somehow they said this country was great. When they had poverty back in the 1930s, they had poverty most of the time they were here. Anyway, that over time they grew this pharmaceutical industry. And this pharmaceutical industry literally gained so much money that they themselves could buy the government. This is because the lifestyle that the Americans were living was so grotesque and disgusting that they needed something to balance that out. Now, when you get all these drugs, you got a lot of side effects. Side effects are with everything you do in your life. Anything you take into your body gonna give you a side effect. Some of it is conscious, some of it is subconscious, which is, when they say subconscious, that means the Akashic records. Basically, it's like shit that you can't put words to, that just happens. Like how if I cut myself over time, a scar will come there. Okay? That's the same energy, the subconscious. Anyway, over time, these genetically modified organisms, they are they are testing you basically. And when I say this is a test, this is only a test if you were growing up in this culture. If you were not growing up in this culture, when you were, think about this. This is what I want everybody in America specifically to understand, but I want my foreign people also, my worldwide brothers and sisters to also understand that right now, if you grew up in America, you have a completely different mind state and view of America than everybody in the world. Now, when people come here, and everybody who comes here thinking that it's something good, anybody who comes here thinking that America is something good, grand, that you can make dreams happen with, that is because the truth is about America is that it is not a country. It is not a country. America is not even a corporation anymore. America is transformed now into a robot. A well-oiled machine. Something that is a part of nature. Because it has destroyed nature, impeded on nature, it is mutated nature, cloned nature, and it now can attack you as if it is nature, if you were ignorant enough to believe that. So right now, you have to understand that America is not a corporation anymore, because money doesn't matter. In reality, it doesn't. And they figured it out back in the day, and that's why the Rothschilds have so much power right now. Because they know in reality, the resources don't matter. The resources only matter if you are ignorant. You see, as humans, and even the smallest of creatures, we all create our own food. We're part of this thing called an ecosystem. So once you have something called a corporation, you feel me, which is basically you keeping something that's supposed to be dead alive. America died a long time ago, and we still sitting right here thinking that we in this shit, and we still right here thinking that, oh yeah, the president, we talking about all these presidents, all this crazy shit, and we using this as knowledge now. Somehow back in the day, once you figured out that your votes don't count for president, you should have already blew all that country shit out the fucking water, nigga. You should have threw all that shit out the trash. All the rights, all the sovereignty, all that stupid shit, you feel me? Because you know that's, it's fake. It's an idea that we agreed upon. And you as a human have the right to drop that idea and create something new. And instead of you doing that shit, you held on to this corporation that you had no control over in reality. And somehow they want you to think that, they want you to have pride in this land. And in your Bible, even everything tells you not to have pride, but somehow you think it's okay to have pride in your land, though. That's greedy. That's very greedy of you, in my opinion, to want to have pride in land, because that's what leads to what we are living in right now, which is a big ass, stanky ass diaper. Anyway, America right now is a robot. Everything that you do is to build the robots intelligent and start it and to make it alive. It's transforming into a robot as we speak, because after you die, you can only come back to life if you have been resurrected, right? Now, when you get resurrected, you need a anti-heart. Okay? The only way you can be resurrected, and most of the time, you can see this in most of the movies and most of the books and most of the symbology, that only way you can get resurrected if you talk to the devil or some negative energy reinforces you back into reality. It's always a hidden mystical force, and you don't even know why you get back there anyway. And that's what the whole karma mystification is about also. But at the end of the day, the robot is because they have the technology to put everything that you know. They tell you it's in the satellite, but it's actually here on Earth. They have the technology to put everything that you know and want to be on this system. The same system that you are. They're copying that every day in order to create something that they don't have to negotiate with or tell them, hey, you got to go to work every day. They can just press a button and have their family living around. Now, this is also okay because you can have robots, but they can look like humans. They have many names for this shit. It's called clone, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to realize all these things are robots. Now, what is a robot? A robot is something that is it's human-made genetic it's human-made genetic manipulation. It's human-made genetic cloning, or it's like basically I'm reflecting the shit I'm stealing your information, I'm recreating. It's like humans trying to be God, basically. So once you do this, you literally a robot. When you think of robot, you always think of this technological thing. It's always shiny. You got tin, it got metal, it got all this other shit. You feel me? And it's always like somehow more advanced than you. It's always somehow more advanced than you at doing something, because a robot is only there because you lack the ability to do something. You have to realize these things. It's simple knowledge. Now, if you realize that it's a robot or technology is only there to assist you in doing something that you don't know how to do, the more that you give these things in your insecurities, the more that you give these things your weaknesses, the more that you give these things your lifestyle, the way you live, it automatically can create its own body without you. You have already sparked the beginning of the new world, and you don't know what the new world is. It's robots. You feel me? The new creation, and all these things are robotic. All the symbology is robotic. It talks about a time where a new being is coming to this earth on a white horse and all that other shit. And it talks about how the end time is going to happen. And the end time is going to be because we are going to die off and be robots. The same way the reptilian used to be here, we're going to fucking die off. And we're causing our own destruction as we speak. Now, there's nobody doing this. There's no they. The real government of America is you. The real system of America is you. Every day you go to work, you're working towards this purpose right here. The real true purpose that you're working towards is so that you can be copied and put onto a chip and then uploaded every 20 years. Every 20 years, a new trend is coming into your media and your entertainment and the way you live. And this is called a sigil. These are mathematic sequences of you seeing the same images, tones of sound, all at the same time. And if you put this in a sequence in time, which is really an illusion, what time actually is you tracking the world around you so that you can get a one-up on it. Okay? Now, why do you want to one-up on it? So you can, so you can, what they say, survive. The cats and dogs, they don't get a one-up on it. They just walk around, they just guess it, and it's a surprise to them every time. They survive easily. They're probably able to survive way better than you. Now, these everyday people that work for this robot now that is being built, you are a genetically modified, diseased human being. That means you lack the ability to do many things, basically. And you need technology. You're feeding the people who make technology. And what is a technology? A technology is something that is there to assist a human being. So the pharmaceutical industry, instead of giving your money to the government, the real government, the congressman, yourself, instead of giving your money to that, you're giving it to the pharmaceutical industry, you give it to the you give it to the fucking religions. You're gonna give all your fucking money to all these organizations that don't really matter. You're gonna give all your money back to all the stupid shit in the stores, like all this technology that you don't really need. All of this you don't really need. You're diseased because you don't really know how to do anything. That's the true disease, ignorance. You are diseased because you don't know how to do anything. And the people who are on this earth that you call bad people, intelligent, you call them intelligent, smart, they make everything that you like. All these people, they hate and despise you. They think that you are a waste of time and a waste of life. They rather build robots and create synthetic life than to even talk to you. That's why they're doing it. They're in their room. They not think about you, nigga. They think about how it's all the things that you do to these beings. And they go make these technologies. And they give it to you. Or they don't really give it to you. It's taken from them. It's stolen from them. It's given to you in order to distract you. But over time, all these things have side effects. All these things have really bad side effects. Now, all these side effects are only brought on if you continue to do these things and if you're ignorant. Your disease is that every day you are trying to change your body, your human entity. You don't want to be a human anymore. You want to be a robot. You want to be a robot. Nobody has to talk to you about that. Nobody has to tell you what to do every day. Nobody has to tell you what to eat anymore. Nobody has to tell you what's good or bad anymore. The world is free right now. Everybody doing what the fuck they want. But you still going to work. You still talking about how you gonna help all these organizations. You still talking about how all these entities in the other world gonna help you. You still talking about how the world gonna end. You still talking about how fucked up all the food is. You still talking about all this shit. And it's all on their technology. What are you solving? And it's all on their technology. And I say they technology, who is they? It's you. The people that you forced into these rooms, so they, you know, you didn't want to talk to them in school. You said they look weird. You said they were ugly. They didn't wear the right clothes. They didn't talk right. They wanted to focus on drawing. They wanted to focus on math. They wanted to focus on cool shit, like intellectual shit. You called them lame, weird. So they went in their rooms and they created all these things like the iPhones, the fucking genetically modified organisms, the motherfucking cures, the vaccines. They went and created all these things. These people, the government did not create all these things. These are everyday citizens. Everyday citizens, they get to create these things and they sell it to them and they use it against you. You're doing these things because you're ignorant. You don't even know why you're creating this shit. Remember, the reason why these people created this shit is not because you embraced them and said, hey, before they made that shit, you didn't love them, bro. Remember that shit. Most of the technology you get in the world is made from a dislike of the world. Okay? Now, when you take this technology and you put it in a system that's already settled in and you don't want to change your mind about shit, you don't want to change your way of living, it's literally pointless. The information that's stacked up on top of your brain is stupid. If you don't want to let go of the system that you think is a corporation or a country. Okay? The reason they are still using all the tactics that you are allowing to be real, all this holographic universe, all this law of attraction shit, is bullshit, bro. It's all just a side effect. All this shit that you think is spiritual, it's a side effect of you being weak and not wanting to get rid of the real problem. The real problem is this, that you are still supporting all the shit that you think is bad. And it's not about money, it's about you even thinking that money is a way to even get out of this shit. You're still supporting the same thought. So what they do is this: every time you make a new thought while you're still in the system, the old system invades that and engulfs that because it's bigger. Now, if you go off and you split off, you have a new thought, that new thought is going to literally be big in itself. And then you have a new thought on top of that, it's going to go together. It's not going to be engulfed, it's going to have time to be fresh and mold over time and grow. Because it's the time for that right now. Every day. Every day that your heart beats, every second that your heart beats, every time your heart beats, every blink of the eye, every sign that you are here, okay, that is your opportunity to make something new and create it and live that. But you live in a system and you want to keep this system. So this system is literally here blocking and testing everything that you want to create. Every idea that you have is being tested by the old system that you still have in faith, because you still have faith in that. You still have faith in the system. You still drive a car every day. Why? Let's get down to the real question. The one question. Why? Why do you need a car? The only technology that will be truly useful for you is teleportation. The only reason you would need a car right now is to work, because they've invaded the car. The old system invaded the intellection of a car. They already invaded the intellection of religions. They already invaded the intellection of all that shit. The people, or the thing that you call the devil, the big, the bad, the big elite, the white people, anybody you think is bad, they already invaded that shit. They already invaded all the shit that you're trying to use. And every time somebody creates something and give it to them in any way, it's already fucking invaded. They already there. It's already infected with the genetically modified organism, because literally what we have here is something that is molded so bad that it has came back to life. You have a mold infestation. It's a new reality of mold. And you still stand here, and everything that you bring here is being engulfed with the mold. So it's like literally not even the point that you stand here. It's like the reality that you set in, that there is land that you can own, and the reason that you want to live, you're scared to stop living for that reason. Why do you have to have that reason? The same way people need Jesus is the same way some people need to go to work. I ask atheists, why are you an atheist? It's because of ignorance. That's why. And I ask people who are religious, why do you believe in this need? Because you need that person to be there. You need Jesus to be there. Christians need Jesus to be there, okay? If they weren't there, if Jesus wasn't there, then they would not exist. Think about that. That's literal. If Jesus was not here, they would not exist. The person that you know them as. To this moment, they would not exist without that nigga. That's not technical, that's literal right there. That's physical, that's metaphysical, literally. Now, every day, what you do every day is creating something new. Now, if you give it away to somebody else who's of the mind state or in the physical address of this molded mind state, this molded physical reality right here that we're living in, then it will be engulfed with the mold. So what you have to do is, every time somebody keeps these ideas into themselves, it's called a secret society. And all these secret societies are formed every time in order to combat the actual governments that were existed at the time. Okay? Now, these secret societies over time have invaded all these fucking different sects of the government. Now, the secret societies themselves also got invaded. Now, the one thing that's invading all of them right now that they don't even realize at this moment in time, but if you're listening to this right now, you know, the one thing that's invading even the secret societies and all these bad people that you think exist is robots, robotic energy, false cloning humans. They are obsessed with that. They're poking in something that they don't even know about. And you don't know about it either. So, right now, you need to let go of all your ideas of a country. All your ideas that you learned in your geography class, let go of it. Besides the physical land masses, go buy you some new atlases, make up your own maps, make up all these things because you know about them. Not because, because you know those existed. Don't be ignorant and say, I don't need a map, and just walk around. No, you can do that. Yeah, you can survive that way. But if you want to go to a next level and you want to use that to do something good, then you can literally make up your own map. You can make up your own astronomy. You can make up your own geography, your own biography. You feel me? Your own language. You're supposed to do that. Every family has the right to do all of that. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? The secret society is supposed to be your family that you were born with. But you can't do that anymore because they have been genetically modified with robots. Robots are now in our body. They're in these people who you call aliens. Those are not aliens. Those are humans, human clones that have their own entity. They have their own life form. They have their own intelligence the same way you do, but it's the opposite of that now. Literally. The physical encompass of what you were scared of exists, and it's now building its energy over time. Freddy Krueger. It only existed in your dreams before. Everything, the aliens, the world in the sky, the flying cars, all these things that you want to exist, it's going to exist. If you wanted to, but you have to be a robot. You have to be a robot. You have to be chipped first. Who would want to chip you, man? Think about that. It's not because of the devil. It's not because of a white person. It's not because of none of that. It's because the robots are literally people now. They're dressed up as the people, and they have robots. They have genetically modified organisms inside of them. They have mechanical life, physical mechanical life. You feel me? The rocks around you, the minerals around you that you are really, with the elements all around you, instead of having the water and all the other shit, maybe you might have water in some of these technologies if you study some. But all of those chemicals and elements, they are made up, and you put those together and you made an entity, right? And you think that you can shut this off. Now imagine if somebody tried to shut you off and they just killed you. No, it's too late. It's too late. You already have billions of that exist right now. And now, right now, what these robots are doing are invading your microscopic intelligence, your cellular intelligence, what you are, your DNA, your immune system. They're going that deep in, and you are giving them the rights to. You're afraid, and you live in a reality that you don't want to let go of, so they have invaded that, dressed up in that costume that you want them to dress up in, and fed you the same shit. That's like me coming here 10 different times and saying the same exact shit in the same way somehow. Same action, same movements, all that. And I'm just saying, I'm trying to get my point across, basically, that to you that right now the country is not ran. I mean, there's no country. This land right now is cursed and hexed. The only way to cleanse this land is to let go. Is to cleanse yourself and cleanse your soul, and let go of this country, and let go of these corporations, and let go of these monies, and let go of this transportation systems, and let go of these cars, and just start fresh. Once you know, you in your human mind should know that, okay, I can do this once, I can do it again. We've already done it many, many times. The point, if you are truly intelligent, that you should know, if you listen to anybody talk, even if they are evil as hell, is to get you can get one phrase from them that can change your whole perspective, and that can be intelligence to you. And the one phrase that you have to get from all of these people is that creation is independence. Creation is the true only God. If you do not create, then Satan will be around you. Now, what you think creating is might be mind. You got something that's drawing, but you are literally an infinite being. So it's not just about drawing or making a song and making rhythms and loops. These are all things that you made up. You made it up so long ago, and you feel that shit. It's just inside your DNA. Now you have to realize this is the same thing that's happening right now. How a long time ago you made up the illusions of something called a rhythm, because you see the same cycles in nature every day, and you literally started making synchronicities and sigils around you that literally made you feel good and made you absorb the energy of food, of life coming to this earth, birth, of storms, so that you can be protected, many things. And over time, you associate all these different sounds and shit, and then now that you have infested the world with these things, and it's time to make some new shit, you don't want to get rid of it. So you stack all this shit up on top of each other. It's trash. It's trash. Once you know that it has been infected, once you know that the food has been infected, all that shit, you're supposed to drop everything. You're supposed to say, hey, this shit is going too far, man. I can't go to work. I can't use money no more. That shit crazy. I can't eat this food. I can't drink this water. None of that shit. I literally can't live. And you're supposed to be so enraged that you're supposed to go. You're supposed to literally kill the same people who are responsible for this shit. You're supposed to literally threaten everybody who says any type of ignorance to you about these things. And that is not called a revolution. That is called an anarchy, a resignation. To sit back from all of the ignorance and watch it go on. But we will not be a part of this. Not through violence or not through any of that, because we are intelligent enough to create our own things. We can build our own things. Destroy them and build them again. That's how it's supposed to be. Right now, there are microscopic beings inside of you, making you crave things. In history, there is no such thing as a craving before PR was invented. There is no such thing as a craving. Now everybody's craving things out of nowhere somehow. Where did this come from? Where does desire even come from? This word desire. Because if you really think about it, you have everything that you need. What if you grew up, what if you lived the lifestyle without the word want or need? Simple. It's simple ways to fix these things. If you simply grew up in a lifestyle without a want or need, then these genetically modified organisms shut down. They shut down inside of your body, and they shut down. Every time they shut down in your body, they shut down in somewhere outside of the world. Every time you make a decision to stop doing these things, to make what you think such a drastic decision as to stop eating all these poisons, stop drinking the water, stop doing all the things that they consider to make you human. Because right now, they're transforming you whether you want it or not. They are transforming you whether you want it or not into a robot. Now, you have the right to stay a human or become a robot right now. And eventually, there's going to be a very destructive end to this, all the mistakes that we have made during this time. Way beyond what we can even comprehend. You see, humans think we have this ability to control nature. Now, what if nature lets you create that shit, and then when it grooms up over time, it lets that destroy you. You cannot control something that you create. It is only there for your environment. Your environment is something that are the things that you keep inside of what they call your memory. You see, I can say that my environment is my setting or my plotting, but if I say that, if I look behind me and I see trees, I only see that as a tree because, wait, what did I say, babe?
You only see it as a tree because, or before that?
Yeah, before that. Basically, I could say it's my setting, but it's not my setting. My environment and my memory is my environment, because literally what I've been taught is based on my memory. And I remember this to be a tree. But I could literally be living in a completely different universe just by changing my memories. And the way you do this, you can get rid of certain memories and you can create new memories. You see? And everybody who's depressed, they don't have the ability to do this anymore because they're they're literally being diseased over time to become a robot. They're part of experiments. And they're gaining side effects from these experiments. And over time, they're giving information to a robot in order for them to become a robot. This is what is going on. There is no America, this is all an experiment. Experiment that is going crazy. Wow. So, Social Media is here to grow, transform, and tell the truth. At all times, you see, with stability. You have to be balanced, and you have to always walk with grace everywhere you go, knowing that what you create cannot be controlled, but it can be destroyed, and it will be destroyed, and you will destroy it most of the time.